So this is terrible news, but for some people, it's not going to be really news because they're already facing these problems. They're already victims to this crime. You actually have an email that you received the other day from someone explaining why YouTube doesn't want to pay the creator. Can you pull that up?
I can. Why they believe YouTube doesn't want to pay the creator. Let's be real specific, though.
Well, let's be real specific because there's a reason why so many large, think about it, large, multi-million subscriber channels are walking away from YouTube. And it's for one very simple reason. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Now, I got to say that it's not worth it for them to keep doing what they're doing, to keep getting less and less in return. But then it is worth it for someone to keep doing it. But unfortunately, the big problem that we are going to face is that eventually it's not going to be worth it for the advertisers. And when the advertisers leave, then the party's over.
Now, this is from Joni, and after I read it, I thought it made sense. So I forwarded it to Kevin because I'm like, hey, listen, there may be some factual, whatever behind this. Joni says, just a heads up, there are tons of unrelated channels this is happening to. Don't take it personal. Basically, liquidity left the market in 2023. This has caused companies and advertisers to cut back. They are canceling contracts and ads. In order to make up for the shortfall, you guys are being robbed. You guys as in the content creators. They started with newbies and the uninformed and moved up the food chain. It's not going to get any better. We are headed for a financial bomb. The auto, real estate, and retail markets are all imploding at once. Check out all the videos about banks taking cash and closing out accounts. The problem is the so-called inflation that supposedly hasn't happened is keeping the masses working multiple jobs and are constantly distracted to notice all these things coming together. Please be proactive. The impending shitstorm is thundering closer every day. Please warn your viewers and prepare for worst case scenarios. The pandemic caused record sales in the auto and real estate industry to people who didn't qualify on their best day. Well, those loans are all coming due. The banks are tapped and have stopped lending, so it's a domino effect. Without lending, businesses can't make payroll. So in Q3 and 4, the layoffs began quietly. Now that 2024 is here, it's time for those things to heat up. You are ahead of the game by establishing backup in the form of Patreon. If you haven't already, please get your financial house in order.
So the crazy part is I actually just watched a video and it was talking about CPM and RPM and how everybody was talking about how typically in January you're going to see a decline but also saying, hey, I've had some of my best months and I'm seeing a 3x in my views and I'm seeing a 300% decrease in my pay. Like it doesn't jive. No. It doesn't align. And quite possibly this could be part of some of these contract negotiations where, if you got company X over here and they're investing $1 million into, probably let's just say $100 million into YouTube advertising. And then through this contract, they get halfway through and decide they want to pull out of the contract. Well, YouTube's already shown their ads. They've already paid some of the creators. And now they're going to lose that contract. So then they want to find a way to pull that money back that they've already given out. My guess, how this works.
But you would think the advertisers would still have to pay for the portion of time that they were in the contract.
It depends on the contract. It depends on the attorneys. It depends on everything that happens behind the scenes that most people are completely unaware of how these things go down. And it could possibly be a breach of contract on YouTube's part that allows the advertisers out of the contract and quite possibly offers them and affords them some form of financial monetary compensation for that because YouTube has been doing some shady things. Now, back to why all the big multi-million subscriber channels are leaving after so long. And some of them specifically saying that the drop in ad revenue is a driving factor behind how much money they have to put into these videos to make each one of them better than before to make the same or less money, which is a real interesting time to see Mr. Beast posting videos on X. And also Mr. Beast in negotiations and talks with Amazon for a $100 million deal. Mr. Beast says YouTube will always be where his focus is. But he's saying that now until his focus is elsewhere. And when he leaves the platform, I'm sure he'll be the first one to be 100% transparent and tell people YouTube is not worth it anymore, which is why he left.
I will say that Mr. Beast is the epitome right now of what I've said numerous times. Do not put all your eggs in one basket, because if that basket breaks, you are eggless.
Mr. Beast, the other thing is he's pretty transparent.
Yeah.
He'll flat out tell you. He'll flat out tell you everything that he can tell you, but it's all relative to the situation and the circumstances. But more importantly, these big multi-million subscriber channels leaving the platform, as I came across a channel today in my YouTube studio analytics of videos my audience watches. And one of the videos was about climate change or politics or how much money Nancy Pelosi was making with her insider trading or whatever, something to that effect. And climate change right now, the WEF, some of these secrets, some of these videos, some crazy stuff that's happening, being pushed right now, real big, real heavy. Trump, obviously, Nikki Haley and her spicy affairs or something somebody was talking about.
Oh, I thought you were going to say her not backing down, because she's already said no matter what happens with New Hampshire and other places, she's not backing out like DeSantis and Ramaswamy have.
She says it now. Maybe she will.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all talk. It's all talk.
Yeah.
But the big deal is that I click on this video to see from this channel I've never, ever heard of before. And he's got like, hang on, I gotta pull it up.
Well, while you pull it up, I was thinking earlier that the political stuff is so interesting to me, because you have this stage of people who claim to loathe each other, hate each other, not agree with each other, and whatever else. And then you're going to have the last two running, and then they're going to decide they're going to be president and vice president. Whoever, Nikki Haley could be vice president and Trump be president. And it's like, but these two just spent the last however many months on the campaign trail talking about how they don't trust each other, don't like each other. But now, all of a sudden, in order for both of them to get in office and be happy, they've decided to work together.
I think that
that's just my thought.
Having a collective. I apologize for speaking over you for that.
Oh no! How dare you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Ooh.
Man.
Ugh.
So as long as they have this collective fight against climate change, or the narrative of climate change, even though they'll flip flop, go back and forth. Trump's got his push and agenda for gender ideology and, this cult that he's discussing and talking about. Although he has been on both sides of this story, it's all smoke and mirrors. It's all a front. It's all a game. It's all a business. It's all for winning. He who tells the biggest lie wins, which is a little bit of a cliche quote, but I found myself with saying another cliche quote today to my brother, where I said there's no honor amongst thieves. So this channel that I've never, ever seen before has 18,700 subscribers. Never, ever seen this channel before. And nothing against the guy, but I don't understand what he's saying. I don't know I can barely understand what he's saying, because English is not his first language. He's from another country, but he's identified an opportunity here to come in and steal a lot of impressions, a lot of views, a lot of ad revenue. And I'm not saying he's stealing it, who he's stealing it from. I'm just saying he has a chance to steal it. Now, who he's stealing it from, I'll leave that up to everyone else to decide and choose, because if this video actually makes it in front of other YouTube content creators who have faced these problems, I would be very interested to know who you blame in this situation. Do you blame this creator for identifying this opportunity and exploiting it, or do you blame YouTube for allowing it to happen, or do you blame anybody else? I don't know.
Let me just say, I have not seen who this is, but when you say exploit and do all these things, it makes me think of those channels out there who sit in front of the camera and they just play somebody else's video the entire time and just make faces while it plays. People like that who are getting hundreds of thousands of views off of somebody else's hard work and getting paid for it. That may be why YouTube is doing some of the things they're doing now, because they don't trust the creators on the platform.
With good reason, because YouTube lets it happen.
Yeah.
YouTube has so much ability and power and technology and skilled workers, even though they are laying off people, they have the ability to stop this from happening.
Yeah.
But they don't.
Because then they can.
They don't. And
take your
they
pay
don't
away
on
later.
purpose.
Yeah.
The same reason why we still have opioids on the street and fentanyl killing people and, you know, drug addiction and overdose.
And cancers,
and
because
all these
there's
things that could be solved and prevented. No, there's a reason why. There's a reason why.
Yeah.
But this one takes it a little bit of a step further because he even stole my brother's thumbnail with my brother's face. And my brother's not in the video.
Oh, wow.
But they're both black men.
Uh-huh.
So he stole his image.
In hopes that nobody would notice because all black men look alike.
But ironically, he's stealing a lot of people's images.
Uh-huh.
And I gotta say, he's I'm not gonna say.
Sounds skeezy.
I'm a hold back. But the point is, it's not really him because it's a hydra. You cut off one and multiple come back in return. And the reason why they're even here to begin with is because YouTube allowed it to happen and they have identified, oh, this is simple, this is easy.
Yeah.
I can do this. 18.7 subscribers. He's gotten 2.8 million views in the last 30 days. He's gotten 2.8 million views in the last 30 days.
With 18,000 subs. And it's from using other people's content, I'm sure.
He's gotten, you put up a video with 170,000 subscribers and YouTube may show it to...
On a low day, 6,000. If I'm lucky, on a high day, maybe 40 or 50.
He's got 18,000 and YouTube says, we're going to show it to 600,000.
Yeah.
That's not the problem. That's not the gripe. The problem is, the reason why so many multi-million subscriber channels are quitting and leaving YouTube is because they're having their content, in addition to their thumbnails and titles, 100% stolen from them by somebody else.
By people with no morals.
Then uploaded with them reacting to it in the little bottom corner of the screen, which isn't the worst part. The worst part is they get more views
than the original creator. And they don't give credit to the original, which is even worse.
So as the original, and YouTube doesn't stop it. So as the original, why would you
work for free?
Why would you go out there and spend time, money, effort, energy into making a video that YouTube is going to not provide to the audience that's obviously there interested in it because of this? We can see that there's interest. Why would you spend the time, effort, energy, and money to make that video for YouTube not to show it, and then if they did, not pay you accordingly for it? For someone else to just sit back and wait and be like, oh, look at that video. That video's doing pretty good. I'll just copy that 100%. When I say pretty good, I'm talking about one of the channels he stole from has, actually, I don't mind sharing one of the channels that he stole from because that channel is legit. Dr. Steve Turley. Never heard of him. But that's one of the channels he's stealing from. And Dr. Steve Turley has, let's see, if I could spell.
There it is.
Dr. Steve Turley has 1.19 million subscribers. And Dr. Steve Turley, his last video got 14,000 views, 178,000 views, 98,000 views, 106,000 views, 49. He's getting less views than the guy with 18.7 thousand subscribers, but the guy with 18.7 is literally stealing his videos and thumbnails 100%. So when Dr. Steve Turley at 1.19 million subs gets, I'd have to say, okay.
Amber Alert came through.
Amber Alert came through and just cut the whole video off. So he's stealing his videos and titles 100%. So when Dr. Steve Turley gets a good video at 178,000 views, that's not a really good video in comparison to how many subscribers he has. But from the outside looking in, you'll say, well, it is in comparison to him having gotten 48,000 and 86,000 and 45,000. So as the new age generation of YouTubers comes in and says, okay, well, I'll just take that video and just copy it 100%. Dr. Steve Turley may have put hours, thousands of dollars into this video in a variety of different ways, and just, and then wait for the other guy to come along and just steal it for free.
Yeah.
Then re-upload it, and YouTube supports smaller channels more than it does bigger channels, and allows the smaller channel to get the views and the reach from the audience that should already be there for this channel that's grown to over 1 million subscribers.
And then depending on how skeezily the thief puts the video up, sometimes YouTube doesn't realize it's been stolen, or copyrighted is the right word here. And so the original creator doesn't get notification of it. So you just have your content out there on somebody else's channel, them taking credit for it. I mean, over on Rumble, there's nothing I could do over there, but there's plenty of people stealing my videos and putting them up as their own, using my picture as a profile picture, absolutely everything. Same thing on Instagram, same thing on YouTube. Like, it happens all over the place. And as a creator or YouTube creator, I guess, is content creator is the only way to phrase it. It really sucks, because you put your time, your effort, your heart, your whatever into it, and then for somebody else to just come along and take it and put it up, and then they get a wider reach and better views from it, and therefore they get paid for the hard work you put in. It's kind of what's the word?
Moralizing.
That's what I was gonna say, but I wasn't sure if that was the right one.
So the question then becomes, all right, as a real creator, whether you want to consider yourself one or not,
I know.
You're a real creator, because you literally wake up and you're inspired and you create.
Okay.
Even if this guy watched Dr. Steve Turley or whoever he watched and was inspired to create, that's different.
Yeah, but he's was inspired to steal.
Copying the URL, using some app to download it, and then just pretending to so the question is, as a real creator, do you say to yourself, well, I'm spinning my wheels here, so my option is to continue to spin my wheels and continue to do what I do for the greater good, while also being kicked down for doing it because YouTube is not paying you. They don't want to pay you. And then they're rewarding others for doing everything wrong while you're doing everything right. This is in essence what is exactly wrong with this country, with society, is everybody doing everything wrong is being rewarded.
While the ones who are doing everything right are getting crapped on and kicked.
So do you keep fighting the good fight, knowing that it really isn't worth it? Or do you quit, like we've seen a lot of these other big YouTube channels quitting? Or do you use another cliche phrase, if you can't beat them, join them?
I was going to say jump on the bandwagon, but you have scruples and morals and you can't do it. I couldn't do it.
Can you imagine what is the world going to look like if everybody says, if you can't beat them, join them? Because if everybody's sitting there waiting to rip off somebody else, then who's going to be the first one to put anything out?
So here's the thing. You will show other people's content, but you literally hold your phone up to it and show the creator, the title, the absolutely everything. You're not taking anything. You're not taking their whole video. You're taking little clips.
Is what
inspired you to make your video, and you say their names, you tag them, you do everything else you have to do.
I don't steal their titles. I don't steal their thumbnails.
But that's why I was, for the longest time, wearing my Squirrel Tribe gear in my videos. That way, if you stole my video, at least my logo was still in there. But then people are stealing it and literally just putting like a black bar over where my logo is. So it's like,
so
what do you do?
I'm truly perplexed here by how this platform has evolved to this point that we've witnessed and seen happening, this doesn't even include AI.
Oh yeah, that's not even AI.
This doesn't even include AI.
The real people who are willingly, purposefully being skeezy little mofos and stealing
this
stuff.
Doesn't even include AI. So it's just like, all right, so now that we know this, here's my problem, I think, is that these folks don't care.
Oh, no, that'll get shut down. They'll just start a new one.
It won't get shut down. And even if it did, they don't care.
Yeah.
These folks don't care.
Yeah. It's work hard. They're doing the work smarter, not harder.
These
but
folks
it's not
don't
smart,
care.
in my opinion.
And odds are have no clue who their subscribers are. Mm-hmm. Whereas we do.
Mm-hmm. We care about y'all. So we try not to ever be those people that are like that.
So it's like, all right, well, we don't want to disappoint our subscribers, if that's the right word, by quitting or changing or chasing the trend or whatever it may be. We don't want to do that. But we also don't want to get screwed.
Yeah.
So then it's like, well, okay, well, all right, well, we could do what they do, okay?
Okay.
And do less work. Because if I myself engage in this, I'm going to be better than them. I'm just going to say it like that. I'm just going to be better than them. So we could do that. We could do less work. Probably within an hour a day, we could make more views, more videos, more money, yada yada yada, by doing what they're doing that YouTube is rewarding for this bad behavior, this terrible foundation of leadership and encouragement for new creators and young creators to start on the platform. So what message are they delivering? Hey, if you want to make it big on YouTube, just start an account and copy everybody else's shit. Like, that's literally what they're doing.
Well, hey, if you want to be considered attractive, just copy a Kardashian. Go inject yourself with everything and do all this other stuff. Make sure you're wearing this brand. Make sure you're driving this car. Make sure you're doing this. You live in this place. It's all the same. But I don't even watch other people's YouTube videos. I don't watch anybody else's stuff because at no point in time do I ever want anybody to think that I have taken from them the way they talk, the things they talk about, the way they act, where they're going, what they're doing. None of that stuff. I don't watch any of it. That way I am never ever swayed by anything.
But what you just described is a lie.
Well, I know it's a lie, but so is this.
Exactly. And that's the thing, because half of this is a lie. It's not just a lie that they didn't make it. It's not a lie that they stole it from somebody and they omitted the fact that they took it. It's a lie because a lot of the things that they say aren't necessarily true. So for us, then we would be going down that route and that path of lying, cheating, and stealing, all for the greater good of maximizing the output of this job that we have and this business that we've created, of trying to play fair that we continuously lose at versus cheating to win.
Well, what's that phrase? It's not, I don't know the full phrase, I'm going to mess it up, but it's along the lines of money is the root of all evil. But that's not the whole thing. It's the greed of money, or the love of money is the root of all evil. And I feel like that's what most of these people that are these thieves on YouTube, it's for the love of money. It's not because they care like we do and actually want to help people or give two shits about anybody but themselves. And that's where the problem comes in, because greed beats morals on this platform.
Will come in and shut a channel down for providing too much information, for teaching you how to, do things for yourself and protect yourself and be self-sustainable. They'll come in and shut that down, but they'll, turn a blind eye to everybody out there stealing. Like, you can't tell me that the algorithm can't figure out that it's the same content. And I know they can.
Because they auditory, they can hear it.
I know they can. So they're purposely doing this. I don't know what they're paying them.
Probably less.
But they're not doing anything.
I know.
It's literally it's a money printer.
Got a little waffle there, I just noticed.
It's a money printer, and they're like, if I make $20 RPM, great. If I make $5 RPM, whatever. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, because it's free money for 5 minutes that they put into stealing somebody else's content and uploading it.
Like some of these videos that they're taking have hours in them. For them to have minutes to copy and steal and throw out there and see what happens.
They are what is wrong with society.
Worst case scenario is they make money. Worst case scenario is they make money.
Yeah. Yeah.
The audience that is shown this will then believe that they're the source of this.
My favorite was on Squirrel Trap. I would get people in the comments going, "Oh, you need to go watch this channel. They just talked about it." And I would reply every single time, "No, they didn't. They stole this person's content and just sat there and looked at it. Do not tell me to go check out this channel just because, he's some dude with, a plaque behind him and a nice studio. He's literally stealing this other man's content every single day, especially when Lahaina was an issue."
And then folks like Kingdom Reacts, who wasn't doing that, he got demonetized.
But the ones who are doing it, can I say the name? No, you don't want me to.
Go ahead, I don't care.
Reckless?
Life was
whatever. He is, all he does is steal everybody else's content. I haven't seen Hustle Bitch around since that guy stole all his stuff and put it up like it was his own.
He was MIA. He comes back, he kills it.
And immediately that other guy steals all his content and just plays the entire video and sits there in the corner looking like he did something good with it. And he got paid up for it. And Hustle Bitch, I'm sure, was like, what is the point in doing this? I'm putting my time and effort and whatever into it. Somebody else comes along, plays my entire video. They get more views. They get paid more, whatever else. I'm done. And I haven't seen him since Lahaina.
Look, this is just think about it, the beginning of the pandemic, and people are working these jobs. They've been working these jobs for years. And all of a sudden there's a labor shortage. And then the company they work for says, "Hey, will you hang this sign in the window?" Okay, they hang the sign in the window. They get done hanging the sign in the window. It says, "New hire bonus."
Mm-hmm. What about stayed on during the pandemic bonus? That's always been a problem for me. The places that I saw those signs, I don't frequent those places anymore. The ones that said, "Hey, if you start working for us now, we're going to give you a $5,000 bonus." Did you give a bonus to the ones who stayed with you the whole time? No, I'm not going to your location again.
It's the same thing happening here. YouTube is completely screwed up in how they're treating their OG legacy creators that allowed this platform to get to where it is, to have the opportunity to have that it has with the advertisers.
We're not calling ourselves OGs.
That they're ruining these relationships with, driving them out in droves while bringing in new employees and paying them a bonus to start.
Well, to start by stealing other people's stuff, not even just to start.
By saying, "We'll hire you and pay you a bonus. Just say you did the work that guy did."
Yeah, you don't have to prove it. Obviously, you can just tell us and we'll believe you.
That's messed up.
Somebody asked me, how long until YouTube yanks your channel away for being so outspoken and vocal about this? I wish they would.
Anything, you never know.
Anything's possible.
But at the end of the day, it's
the Supreme Court.
It's a flawed system. It's horrible. It's terrible.
Yeah.
And there are about 5 major components to produce on here, and 5 of them are pretty unethical. So it's just if you really want to do this, how do you want to do this?
I'm sticking to my moral guns.
How do you want to do this? Yeah, I always get torn with I'll just do it in the background in secret just to prove it. But then what? I could literally do it to prove it, and then no one would care. I could you see videos I started a new channel, I blew up a new channel just to prove it wasn't luck. I could literally do what they do in probably 2 weeks, get more views than your channel. Prove to the world that it could be done, and
But you would know, and you wouldn't feel good about it, and that's what matters. Moral compass.